From the graph, you can see that most of the recipients are female. We can perhaps have more female characters so that the audience can identify with the characters a bit more.
This graph shows that the majority of our audience will be aged between 16 and 20. This is our aim target audience because the topic of drugs is most likely linked to teenagers or young adults. Our actors will most likely be in this age range so the audience members can relate to them.
From the graph, you can see that there is a range of sexual orientations, and this means that we can incorporate either of these into our trailer. For example, we could have characters who are heterosexual and characters who are homosexual, so that a range of different people will be able to enjoy it more. We can see that most of the recipients are heterosexual, so we may choose to have more heterosexual relationships involved in the trailer.
Here it shows that most of our audience are from a variety of different ethnicities. The majority are white British and black Caribbean. We will use this in our trailer by having a mix of actors from a range of different ethnicities so that the audience are able to relate to the characters better, as they will share characteristics with them.
70% of our sample have English as their primary language. Using this information, we will choose to avoid dialogue in other languages, as only a minority of our audience will understand it. Our trailer will be in English throughout.
As most of the people in our sample are students, we may choose to have characters who are also students, as they will be able to relate to them. If the majority of our characters were employed, it may be difficult to understand them as only a small amount of our audience are employed.
70% of our sample are single. This may mean that it will be difficult for them to relate to people who are in a relationship. However, many people who are single still enjoy watching romantic films which involve people in relationships. To meet the needs of a range of people, we will have romance as a subgenre of our film and only have a small amount of romantic relationships shown in the trailer, which are the protagonists. This way, we will not be showing too many relationships, but at the same time, we will not avoid this completely.
12 out of 20 people from our sample are Christian, but there are also a range of different religions, such as Muslim and Buddhist. We will not have many religious references in our trailer, but we can make sure we do not offend any religions, even if most of our target audience are Christians.
It is important to know whether or not the majority of our audience are smokers, as we may want to include people smoking in our trailer. From our results, we can see that 15 out of 20 people do not smoke. Using this information, we may choose not to have smoking included in the trailer, as the audience may not enjoy it as much. However, our film idea will be about drugs, so we may need to incorporate smoking into our trailer. Some of our audience may still enjoy it, as it gives them a sense of escapism.
Our film idea is going to be about drugs. We are trying to show people the effects of drugs and how dangerous they can be. It is important for us to find out how many people in our sample have taken drugs before, as we can generalize it to our target audience and see whether or not the majority of them have experienced drugs before. The pie chart shows that most of the recipients have not taken drugs. This means that they will not be aware of the effects of drugs, and this will allow us to give them a virtual experience in our trailer. We aim to make more people aware of the effects of drugs so that we can influence their view on drugs. We can also influence the views of those who have already taken drugs, but it will be more difficult as they have experienced it already, and our trailer may not be as effective.
A majority of our sample do not go to the cinema often. This does not necessarily mean that they do not watch movies, as there are other ways of consuming film. If we were to release the film, we would choose not to release it in the cinema, as our target audience prefer other methods of media consumption.
Most of our sample are meat eaters. We can use this in our trailer by including foods with meat, so that the audience can enjoy it more. However, a minority of our audience will be vegetarians, vegans and pescatarians, so this may not be enjoyable for them.
We can include a range of music in our trailer, but more R&B and rap music because these were the most common. The audience may enjoy the trailer if it includes music that they like.
Most of our audience consumes films through streaming sites such as Netflix. If we were to release this film, we would consider having it on streaming sites, so that our target audience are more likely to watch it.
We can advertise and promote our film on social media and even feature it in our trailer. If we feature the use of social media in our trailer, then the audience will be more able to relate to it, as it's more realistic. If we promote through social media, then our target audience are more likely to see it.
We can see from our results that Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram are the most commonly used social media sites. We can promote and advertise our film through these sites, as this is where our target audience are likely to see it. This can also help us attract a wider range of people, as the use of social media is increasing.
Most people say that the cast is the most important part of the film. This does not mean that we should not make an interesting plot, as some people also believe that the plot was most important. This means that in order for the majority of our audience to enjoy the trailer, we will have to have good actors. If we were in the Hollywood film industry, then we would use star marketing.
In this graph, it shows that most people's favourite genre is horror. Some people also chose drama, which is good, because our trailer is based on crime drama.
This shows that most people prefer having a male protagonist and antagonist. In our trailer, we will have a female protagonist and a male antagonist.
Crime drama appeals to most of our audience, which is good, because our trailer is based on this drama subgenre. This means they are more likely to enjoy our trailer, as it is the genre that they like the most.
A large amount of our audience enjoy plot twists, cliffhangers and happy endings. So in our trailer we could include any of these types of endings. We will not incorporate a sad ending in our trailer, as not many people enjoy it.
Our audience prefer either a linear or non-linear narrative. Depending how the storyline is in our trailer,